The idea of the apocalypse has always intrigued humanity. From ancient texts to blockbuster movies, we've been fascinated by the concept of the end of the world. But while we imagine giant catastrophes, fiery destruction, or sudden dramatic events, what if the signs of the apocalypse are already here, quietly woven into the fabric of our everyday lives? What if we've been walking past them, ignoring them, or worse, accepting them as normal? Today we'll uncover the subtle, hidden signs of the apocalypse, clues scattered across our modern world, some ancient and some alarmingly current. As we piece them together, ask yourself, are these just coincidences, or are they part of a larger, unfolding prophecy? Stick around to the end, because the final sign might leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Let's start with what the Bible says about the apocalypse. You probably imagine Revelation, with its wild imagery, the four horsemen, the beast, the harlot of Babylon. It's an intense, almost cinematic depiction of the end of days. But much of Revelation's message is subtle, a slow burn of events that escalate like the perfect build-up in a movie thriller. Take Matthew 24, verse 6-7, for instance. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. Doesn't this sound like a headline from today? Every day we're bombarded with news of conflicts, political unrest, natural disasters. It's not just the events themselves, it's the feeling of tension, of escalation. Think of a great suspense movie where you know something big is coming, but you're not sure when or how. That's what this feels like. Could this be the stage setting for something much larger? But here's where it gets more intriguing. Revelation 13:14 talks about deception on a massive scale. It deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast. Now let's pause and think about that word, deception. In today's world, deception isn't just about someone lying. It's about entire systems of misinformation. Social media feeds us conflicting truths. Deepfake technology blurs the line between real and fake. Even AI-generated content can manipulate what we see, hear, and believe. It's like a psychological thriller where the protagonist doesn't know what's real anymore. Could it be that we're already living in a world of deception so intricate and widespread that it fits the biblical warning perfectly? And then there's the collapse of societal values. This one hits closer to home. 2 Timothy 3:1-5 describes it in chilling detail. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control. Doesn't this sound familiar? Self-obsession is practically celebrated in our culture. Social media thrives on vanity metrics, likes, shares, followers. Materialism drives every ad campaign telling us we need more, better, faster. It's like the anti-hero arc in a dark drama. You can see where this is heading, but it feels like you're powerless to stop it. And it's not just individual behavior. As a society, we've become more polarized, less forgiving, less compassionate. Could this be the moral decay that prophecies have warned about? Let's talk about nature. In Luke 21:25-26, Jesus mentions signs in the sun, moon, and stars, along with nations in anguish and seas roaring. Look at the world today. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more destructive. Fires ravage forests, hurricanes grow more powerful, glaciers melt, causing sea levels to rise. The environment is literally roaring. Now, some might argue this is just climate change, a natural consequence of human activity, and that's valid. But what if it's more? What if these changes are not just scientific phenomena, but also spiritual warnings? In apocalyptic films, there's always that one scientist or mystic who tries to warn everyone, but no one listens. Are we ignoring our own warning signs? Now here's where it gets even more unsettling. Technology. Revelation 13:16-17 describes a system where no one can buy or sell without a mark. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads. Digital currencies, biometric IDs, AI systems that track and analyze every aspect of our lives. We're creating systems that could easily fit this description. Think about it. If cash disappears and everything moves to digital wallets, what happens if someone controls access to those wallets? It's not hard to imagine a scenario where technology becomes a tool for control, just as Revelation warns. But here's the twist. It's not just dystopian fear-mongering. Technology also connects us, empowers us, and gives us tools to solve huge problems. It's like a morally complex character in a drama, capable of both great good and great harm. The question is, which side will prevail? Let's pivot for a moment to the spiritual realm. Matthew 24:12 says, "Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold." This isn't about external disasters. This is about what's happening inside us. Have you noticed how disconnected we've become? Depression, anxiety, loneliness, they're at all-time highs. Community and faith, the things that used to anchor societies, are fading. It's like a slow-burning horror film where the real terror isn't the monster outside. It's what's happening inside the characters. If love and faith are diminishing, could this be one of the most subtle yet devastating signs of the apocalypse? And then there are the ancient prophecies from other cultures. The Mayans predicted cycles of renewal and destruction. The Hindu concept of the Kali Yuga describes an age of moral decline before a spiritual awakening. Even secular historians talk about the rise and fall of civilizations as a cyclical pattern. Are these just coincidences, or are they pointing to the same eventuality? Imagine a giant puzzle where every piece, biblical prophecy, cultural lore, scientific discovery, fits together. Could it be that these cycles are converging now in our lifetime? Economics is another area worth examining. Revelation 18 describes the fall of Babylon, symbolizing the collapse of a corrupt economic system. The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Look at the financial instability we see today. Nations drowning in debt, billion-dollar corporations crumbling overnight, the wealth gap widening to extremes. In apocalyptic stories, the collapse of a financial system is often the tipping point that leads to chaos. Could this be the beginning of such a collapse? But here's the plot twist that every great story needs: hope. The apocalypse isn't just about destruction. Revelation 21:1-4 offers a vision of renewal. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. It's a reminder that the end is not the final chapter, it's the beginning of something new. Every great story, every hero's journey ends with transformation. After the struggle, the loss, the chaos, there's always a moment of redemption, a return to peace. Could it be that the signs of the apocalypse aren't just warnings of doom, but also invitations to prepare for renewal? So where does this leave us? Are these signs hidden in plain sight, quietly unfolding while we're too distracted to notice? Or are they simply the natural ebb and flow of history and life? The truth is, no one knows for sure. But what we do know is that these signs challenge us to reflect on how we're living, what we value, and where we place our trust. If this video made you think, let us know in the comments. Which sign resonated with you the most? Do you see these as warnings, coincidences, or something else entirely? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might find this discussion fascinating. The apocalypse doesn't have to be a scary word. It can be a wake-up call, a chance to align our lives with truth, love, and purpose. Until next time, stay curious, stay hopeful, and keep seeking the signs.